What's up, guys? It's Dreco in here, and I have made a new list during this wild card game. It's going to be a ranking of all the NFL teams, in my opinion, from least favorite to favorite. Of course, this goes without telling, but this is all my opinion. So if you like any of these teams, that's cool by you. But if you like some of the teams that I don't like, I'm just going to say that you have a very bad taste in football. So let's get into the video. Obviously, number 32, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, these past few years, have just been nothing but pain and suffering for us Panthers fans. It's just been terrible. Like, especially this year, that Week 17 game, watching that comeback, like, I knew it was going to happen, too. And it still did. It still hurt, even more to watch. Number 31, we got the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons, obviously, another division rival that I don't like. Super Bowl 51 is the biggest reason that I don't like them, because they gave Tom Brady another ring that he didn't need. So, yup, you suck, Atlanta. Number 30, we have the Steelers, and I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not, but the Steelers suck. I don't like the Steelers. They do the same thing every goddamn year. They just go like 1-7 in the first half of the year. And then as soon as they get past the first half of the year, they just win like 9 straight. It's like Mike Tomlin always finds the stupidest ways to get a winning record. And most of the time he makes the playoffs. I honestly thought they were going to make the playoffs this year, but the Dolphins prevented that from happening. So at least they didn't make it this year. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys are another team that I've just never liked. They used to be my least favorite team, but now they're my fourth least favorite team. It's just their fan base is super annoying. They're always like, oh, we're going to do it this year. This is our year, guys. We're going to the Super Bowl, and then they immediately lose. They're going to lose to the Buccaneers this year, too, and that's going to suck, and I'm going to hate them even more. They might even go down a spot. It's just everything about the Cowboys pisses me off. Next up, we got the Commanders. I don't know if this is an irrational hate for the Commanders, but just as long as I've been watching football, the Commanders have been one of my least favorite teams. And it's not even their name, too. I think most of the time it's because of Dan Snyder. I feel like Dan Snyder is the main reason that I don't like the Commanders. Just because they're a team that can do a lot, but I feel like they never, get up there. Next up, we have the Saints and another division rival. This is my least hated division rival, honestly, but I'm still putting them this low because the Drew Brees era, excluding the years 2012 to 2015, was not good. It was just not good. It was like when we were doing good, they were doing bad, and then they started doing good again, and we started being bad. So, yeah. I don't like the Saints. The next one is the Patriots, and I think this goes to without saying, but it's because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick took a group of practice squad players, especially on their offense, to nearly a postseason berth this year. Like he does every single year. It's like, but at least he doesn't always have a winning record. Like he always, sometimes he just gets close to it. But still, the main reason that they're this low is because of Tom Brady in the 2010s. Just I'm tired of seeing them being good. Next up, we have the Broncos, and that's mainly because there's always good players that want to go to them, but they never do good. Like, they're never good. They haven't been good since Peyton Manning, and they're probably never going to be good again, because even with Russell Wilson this year, they sucked. Especially the offense. The defense, on the other hand, was good, but the offense mainly made them suck. And top players and coaches, Sean Payton, I'm looking at you, still want to go to the Broncos. And that's, I just don't get it. Why? Why, of all the teams you could have chose from, you go to the Broncos? Next up, we have the Browns, and that's mainly because of how boring this team is. It's literally, one, they always suck, and two, like I said, they're boring. Like, their logo just makes it boring. The logo's not even brown, it's orange. You can't have an orange logo and call yourselves the Browns. Like, I know why you're calling yourselves the Browns, but that was, like, over half a decade ago. Or over half a century ago, I should say. So, it might be time to change your name. Next up, we have the Colts. Another case of a quarterback, or any player, in my opinion's career, being ruined as soon as they get there. Kind of like the Broncos. And the Colts, every QB that's been there since Andrew Luck has sucked, except for Phillip Rivers, but Phillip Rivers decided to dip immediately after his first season there, which, honestly, I don't blame him, because it's the Colts and they suck. They sucked with Matt Ryan this year. That was good to see. But they're still always in talks to get good players and good coaches. I'm pretty sure people are talking about Sean Payton to the Colts and John Harbaugh to the Colts when they clearly don't deserve him. Next up, we have the Chiefs, and really that's just because of Patrick Mahomes, but I don't actually hate Patrick Mahomes as a lot of other people. I just don't like that he's in, like, every single commercial, and his brother is the most annoying person I've ever seen. That's another reason why. So, yeah. That's why the Chiefs they're this low, but they're like a little under average. Now, this is getting into the teams that I really just don't have many opinions for. Either that or they would suck, but there's one reason why I like them. The first one is the Titans, and mainly the reason why I have the Titans at 20 is because, like, the team, if they didn't have Derrick Henry, I would not like the Titans. I feel like the Titans would suck if they didn't have Derrick Henry, which they would. But hey, they got rid of Todd Downing, so that might be a plus. Next up, we have the Cardinals. This team I really just don't have any opinions for. I feel like they're just one of the teams that's always just been there. Kyler Murray's a little annoying, but it's fun to see memes made about him, so I guess that gives him bonus points. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Bears, another team that I would hate if they didn't have a certain player, and in this case, it's Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the next up-and-coming player in the draft, or the next up-and-coming quarterback, I should say, to come out of the draft. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. Justin Fields, he's going to be a top 10 QB for years to come. I just hope that the Bears can back that up with a good enough offense. Next up, we have Houston, another team that I just don't have any opinions for, mainly just because they've been bad. But I feel like I'd root for them over, say, the Titans. Next up, we have the Vikings. They're just mid. Like, everything about their team is mid. Like, Justin Jefferson, I feel like Tyreek Hill is a much better wide receiver than him, in my opinion. Like, you can say all you want. I just feel like Tyreek Hill deserves the offensive player of the year way more than Justin Jefferson. The Bengals are up next. I feel like the I feel like they're also just mid. Like, they're a team that I probably wouldn't like as much if they weren't good. But I don't, like, love them because if I did, then honestly, I'd be a bandwagon fan, and I'm not a bandwagon fan. Same goes with the Chargers. I just like the Chargers a little bit more, in my opinion. And hopefully next year they'll end up going up to elite status and not hurting their starters in a meaningless game that they still lose. Then we have the Jets. I believe this is at number 14. The Jets, I liked their little comeback thing that they did this year. I feel like the Jets, I really hope the Jets make the playoffs next year just to break that streak. And as long as they get a good quarterback, they'll be there. But for now, they're at the number 14 spot. Next up, we have Jacksonville. I've liked Jacksonville a little more recently. I was rooting for Jacksonville yesterday because they were the underdog going into the game. And look, they ended up pulling it off. So, good job, Jacksonville. And I hope you liked your Waffle House, Trevor Lawrence. Next up, we got the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're also just mid, but I like them a little bit more because I liked seeing the Legion of Boom. Because I just feel like looking at the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson's prime years with the Seahawks, like, it just gives me, like, a nostalgia feeling. So, yeah, that's why they're ranked at number 12. At number 11, we have the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they're on right now, and honestly, I wouldn't mind if they won this game that's playing now. I always like a little bit of an upset, but that's not the reason that the Dolphins are ranked this high. The reason the Dolphins are ranked this high is mainly because of their jerseys. I feel like their jerseys are some of the coolest in all of sports, and if they keep doing good, we'd be able to see those jerseys more often. So, hope you did good, Miami. And now we're into the top 10. The first member of the top 10 is the Philadelphia Eagles. I've always liked the Eagles. Even when I was a Giants fan, I liked the Eagles because of their uniform, but also because they're always one of those teams that just I'd want to be in their fan base so much. Like, if I liked the Eagles a little more, I'd probably be an Eagles fan. But I grew up in a family of Giants fans, so yeah, they've always been good but not great. Next up, we got the Packers. A lot of people hate on the Packers, and honestly, I like them. And they're going downhill with Aaron Rodgers, which sucks a lot, but they're gonna bounce back, I think, as soon as they get their next quarterback in the future, which hopefully will not be Jordan Love. Next up, we have the Lions, another team that I've started to like recently, but I've liked them a lot more than the Jaguars. I feel like the Lions should have made the playoffs this year, but they didn't. So, yeah, hopefully the Lions make the playoffs next year. Next up, we have the Rams. They're at the number 7 spot. I liked the Rams a lot last year, and I still kind of like them, but it's just I liked them a lot more last year. Now we have the number 6 spot. It's the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like the Ravens are getting a lot more hate recently because of John Harbaugh, I mean. And because there's been a severe increase in Bengals fans over the past few years. So yeah, I feel like there should be more Ravens fans. At the number 5 spot, we have the Raiders. They're my dad's favorite team, and honestly, they're another team that just gets hit by bad luck, especially by their front office a lot, but well, they're probably going to have Tom Brady next year, and that might be the only time that I like watching Tom Brady play football. So, wishing you the best, Las Vegas. At the number 4 spot, I have the San Francisco 49ers. They're a team that I've always been a pretty big fan of, and I've been a fan of them more recently because of Christian McCaffrey being there. Like, I just like seeing that he's finally playing on a good contender, and he definitely deserves to. Still miss you, Christian. But actually, that trade did kind of work out for us because we were being better as soon as we traded Christian McCaffrey. So that's a good sign for both teams. At number 3, we have the Bills. This goes without saying much. I live in Bills country. A lot of my friends are Bills fans, and yeah, I'm watching them play right now. They like the personality of the entire fan base. It feels like fun to be around Bills fans and to go to Bills games and stuff. Number 2, we have the New York Giants. I've already said that I used to be a Giants fan. The Giants aren't my main team anymore, but I still like them. And that is because, like, most of my family are Giants fans. So, and, like, I grew up watching the Giants, even though I started watching football after the Giants won those Super Bowls. But I still like them now. And I like that they're hitting a resurgence with Brian Daboll. And number 1, the obvious number 1 pick, by the way, is the Panthers. I've been a fan of the Panthers since the 2015 season, and they've always just been, like, I got into them by watching Cam Newton and also their jerseys, to be honest. Like, their jerseys are the main reason I started watching them. So, and after that 2015 season, I just never left the fan base. I've just been so used to watching Carolina play. And I just really hope that they'll be able to be a good team again after this year, which they hopefully will. So anyway, that is my rankings of football teams from least favorite to favorite, with last place going to the Buccaneers because they suck, and first place going to the obvious choice, the Carolina Panthers. I hope you all enjoyed the video. It was a long one for my channel anyway, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which will probably be an NFL weekend, wildcard weekend review.